Again, very grateful to all the noble lords who spoke. I'm surprised I have to help the noble Lord Snape, understand that very frequently in committee, as a way of provoking some sort of debate or probing government's intentions, it might be appropriate to ask for a report without necessarily wanting to amend the bill in that direction when we come to report stage, ill-named perhaps. But I'm sure he realises that his jibe against the Conservative Party has fallen flat. I was rather pleased to hear the noble Baroness Lady Pigeon say that she would welcome opening things up to the private sector to develop interesting, innovative and technological apps and ways of paying. And I think it's the first thing we've heard said in favour of the private sector in this committee on the bill so far. The Lady Jones of, noble Baroness Lady Jones of Moulsecoomb, and in a sense the response to the noble Lord Snape, because what he was saying was to some extent a response to what the noble Baroness Lady Jones had been saying, brings us to the heart of a debate which most politicians try to run away from, which is how bus services, transport services, public transport, are to be paid for, and what is the role of fares in paying for it. Now, there is a view, and I think this is well expressed by the noble Baroness Lady Jones, that a strong emphasis on influencing behaviour, not least towards the achievement of environmental goals, should be an important driver of public policy. Now, I understand that view, but there's also a realism that has to be brought to bear on this. First of all, that buses have to be paid for, and any policy which is predicated on buses being run without a healthy income from the fare box is mistaken, because they will not run. Buses that depend perpetually on subsidy will not run. The subsidy will dry up. The huge subsidy that is given, not by the government, but by the Mayor of London, to London buses has already had to be trimmed back. And one day the money will run out, and the bus services will have to address the question of fares in London. TfL will have to, well, it's not actually TfL's responsibility. Legally it is the Mayor, rather than TfL, who sets the fares for TfL in London. And he will have to address the question of fares in a way that actually meets financial reality. So what my noble friend Lord Effingham is suggesting is, I think, a very relevant exercise. The government is changing the bus fare cap from £2 to £3. I think everyone would agree that's a significant change, 50% uplift. And what the noble Earl is calling for, my noble friend is calling for, is a proper study of that, because it does give us a case study that is happening in the next few months in real time. And if we don't take advantage of opportunities like that, where we see dramatic shifts in fare levels that we can time and actually study before and after, then we will not learn what we want to know about the effect of fares on passenger demand. The noble Lord Snape suggests that it was not a priority for passengers, that there were other more important things that were priorities. And he may be right. He has experience. He may be right. But other people the studies may show that it really is determinative. So I think it is actually one of the things that the noble Lord, the Minister, should agree to, because we could all learn a great deal from it, and these difficult discussions for politicians would be very much better informed. Mm-hmm.